Good evening. My name is Saurabh Meena, and today we'll be discussing about the non-salary benefits of working in a government job. We all know that the government employees get decent salary nowadays thanks to the Seventh Pay Commission. They get the basic salary as per the Seventh Pay Commission pay matrix, and apart from that, they get the HRA if they are not residing in the government quarters, and they even get the transport allowance to be able to travel from the government office to their homes. Apart from these, there are other perks, also non-salary perks, which I want to discuss about today. The first and the foremost is regarding the stability and the regularity of the payment of the salary to the government departments. We all know that it's a very ordinary thing for us to say that one should get salary on the last day of the month, but it is a luxury for some of the people working in the private sector, because they are many times delays in the payment of the salaries. But when it comes to the government department, they always get their salary on the 30th of the month. Secondly, I think that one of the biggest benefits of working in the government department is because of the central government health scheme. This has been a lifesaver for the government employees, and they're able to get the treatment for not just themselves but also their dependents at a very nominal rate. And in fact, the scheme covers all the important surgeries, and apart from that, the surgeries are at very nominal rates. And in fact, there are many other PSUs and even autonomous organizations where their medical scheme is even better than those of the central government health schemes. They don't have CGHS dispensaries, and they directly have MOUs with some reputed uh, hospitals, and the employees get the benefit to directly go to those hospitals without the need to go to a CGHS dispensary. Third is definitely there is job safety. Uh, we all know that in the government department कोई आसानी से निकाला नहीं जा सकता unless a person has done some big crime or a scandal. So this security is always there in the government department. Yes, if a person does wrong, there will be punishment, but there is a proportionality. It doesn't mean that कोई छोटे सी चीज़ के लिए किसी को निकाल दिया जाए. So fourth is the government jobs provide a decent platform nowadays for growth of the government employee. This growth could be, this platform could be provided in multiple ways, but one major factor is the presence of study leave for the employees, wherein people or the officers are able to get study leave up to 3 years with the full payment of salary in order to pursue higher studies. And secondly, they also get the option of while working in the job, they're able to get the benefit of developing contacts, which will help them later in their life, even if they're not the part of the government department later on. Third point is that they get the understanding of the government working. That understanding will help them even if they move to another government department later on in life via deputation or any other mechanism. Fourth point is they get to learn to get the best out of limited resources. We all know that government servants are working with very limited resources. There is limited availability of the fund along with the limited availability of the staff within that department. In spite of these, they have to get the best out of those limitations, and they have to work in those constraints. So with the ability to perform in such scenarios, this they develop the skill, and this skill is will certainly help them later in the life. Fifth is they're able to get house building allowance up to 25 lakhs, and also the personal computer advance, wherein the government employees are able to get uh, very employee friendly and with minimal interest rates. They're able to get the uh, house building allowance and even personal computer allowance. Seventh point is regarding the children education allowance. I think I've spoken about this in my earlier videos also. Every government servant is entitled up to rupees 27,000 per year for education of his child up to maximum living 2 children. And it's not much. It's not much. It doesn't cover, it doesn't help those servants whose children are studying in the private schools. Eighth point is regarding the staff friendly leave rules. Now it will vary from department to department and from the reporting officer point of view also. There are some officers who don't allow the subordinates to go on leave easily, but still they're quite friendly in comparison to the private sector. And government gives good rules. The leave rules are more employee friendly, I feel. Ninth is the availability of government quarters. There are some autonomous bodies like ICAR where they have their own quarters, own campuses, and because of this, the employees working in those organizations are going to able to get quarters much more easily, as their employees don't have to apply for a central pool of quarters. 10th point, again this is a big point, is the
Point is regarding the leave travel concession. This is again a big point, especially for all the travel streets out there. The government employees along with the families are able to travel free of cost to different parts of the country. And after rendering 1 year of continuous service in the government department, you are eligible for availing LTC for the first 8 years continuously each year. So the first 3 years they get hometown LTC to travel from the place of posting in the hometowns along with the families free of cost. The 4th year is an all India LTC, but along with that, the first 3 years, in the first 3 years, which are all hometown LTCs, one of them can be converted. One of them can be converted to travel to Northeast India or Andaman and Nicobar Islands or Lakshadweep Islands or Jammu and Kashmir or Leh and Ladakh Union Territories. Apart from converting one of them to these places above, one hometown LTC could be converted only for traveling to Jammu and Kashmir or Leh and Ladakh Union Territory. So I think this is a very good mechanism by which the government employees are able to fulfill their dreams of traveling throughout the country. The 11th point was regarding good promotions in certain government departments. Some of them have very good promotion benefits. Having timely promotions allows them to await good amount of exposure at the early stage in their career. And apart from these, there are other small benefits like newspaper allowances and uniform allowances to those working in certain positions. So these are all some small basic benefits. But what I feel is that in government departments, the salary is much lower in comparison to those working in the private sectors. We time and again come hear about views wherein the people working in the private sector are able to get good salaries and accumulate crores of wealth and retire early, say by the age of 35 or 40. Such a luxury is not available to the government servants. But I can definitely say the government servants are able to live a decent life peacefully with the families. And I'm sure that in the upcoming years, the salary growth will become even better. Hopefully, there could be a 8th pay commission coming up soon. My wishes to all the candidates who are working hard